Closed captioning for the Let's Dine Out show provided by Holiday Cafe, your neighborhood diner with 2 locations in Ontario and Mr. D's Diner in Laverne. Ready to satisfy your hunger and budget? Let's Dine Out is made possible by support from Food for Life Baking Company, makers of over 60 organic, all-natural sprouted baked goods, as well as gluten-free and vegan products. Food for Life Baking Company, dedicated to better health since 1964. Foodforlife.com. Sanborn's Air Conditioning and Heating, providing installation, maintenance, and repair of heating and air conditioning systems for home and businesses throughout the Inland Empire. Sanborn's Air Conditioning and Heating, 5-star comfort for 4 generations. Sanborn'sAC.com. And viewers like you, supporting local public television. Thank you.
I'm food critic Alan Borgen, member of the Southern California Restaurant Writers. I've been finding the best restaurants in the Inland Empire and Southern California for over 27 years. This is my job. This is my passion. Let's dine out. Hi, I'm food critic Alan Borgen.
And I'm Tricia Jansen.
Welcome to another delicious edition of the Let's Dine Out show, where we're going to show you some of the best restaurants in your city, and literally in your city. We're going to be traveling everywhere, block by block, city by city, and
yeah, we're traveling around little cities, big cities, all throughout Southern California, trying to show you the best that city has to offer, and that's our goal, is to show you the best food.
If they have food, we're going to be there.
We'll be eating it.
What's next on the menu?
On tonight's show, we travel to Beaumont for some authentic and delicious Mexican dishes at the Beaumont Taco Company. Then it's off to Yucaipa to Hickory Ranch Steakhouse for some family-friendly classic American eats. Located in a small shopping center right off the 10 freeway is a new Mexican restaurant that is creating quite a name for itself, the Beaumont Taco Company. Whether you dine in the small dining room or on their large covered patio area, you are in for a culinary treat. The menu features a tasty array of freshly cooked traditional and original Mexican dishes, while their salsa bar offers a nice selection of salsas that match up perfectly with their food. Owners Rob, Jack, and Rick Martin are here to satisfy your Mexican food fix.
Well, here we are in Beaumont, and what's neat about this restaurant, it's right next to my absolute favorite Italian restaurant, Domenico's. So
Quinky dink.
yeah, it's right next to each other. So when we're done with this, we'll go eat over there too. So, but what's nice about this restaurant, it's been a Mexican restaurant, I think 3 or 4 different times before this one. But this one's by far the best. They take a lot of care, a lot of passion in their dishes, and the flavor profiles are amazing.
They really are. I think this is a very special restaurant.
Well, speaking of special, let's talk about the first dish.
Let's talk.
Oh, this is another thing I want to tell you. If you're on a diet, be careful here. Everything's kind of on the large size. So
yes.
First dish we had was the BTC fries, carne asada fries, I should say, $8.95. It's got a big, huge portion of fries, chopped up carne asada, sour cream, guacamole, salsa, shredded cheese. Unbelievable. I mean, it's messy, it's gooey. The only thing I didn't like was it wasn't layered. The cheese was like melted within the chips, and everything was kind of placed on top. I would like to see it layered a little bit more.
Yeah, I think the fries would have been better, I agree, with some layers of cheese melted in between it, but the flavors were so good. Everything worked really well together.
It had the cheese in there, but everything else should have been in there too.
Well, and for me personally, I would get the sides. I would get the guacamole, the sour cream, and the salsa on the side, because I like to preserve the integrity of the dish, and I would dip into it. That's just my opinion.
I forgot the princess here. What's next?
Next, we had the torta, $8.25. We had it with seasoned chicken. This, you know, I was surprised how they made this. They put the mayo on the bun and they grilled it on the flat top. And I kind of watched them do that, and I thought, okay, but hold on. They spread refried beans on that seasoned bun. They did grilled chicken. It's all white meat, grilled chicken. that they cut up smally. They do some little onion, lettuce, tomato. They put a very generous amount of sliced avocado on, which made me excited. Some jalapenos, and then they serve with French fries. And I think what surprised me about the bun is it's just a regular, torta bun, but the fact that they put the mayonnaise on it and then grilled it like that gave it this crispness on the inside of the bun that I didn't expect it.
Well, the reason they do that primarily because otherwise all the juices
be soggy.
would just soggy
Of
in there.
course.
And the bun is called the Tolero bun, and it's different from all. It's a Mexican roll, but that's what they strictly for
tortas, of course. Yeah, and I thought it's huge. And it's very messy. And again, ladies, to give the Trisha a warning, it's not a dish you want to have on a date or when you're wanting to impress. So it's very messy. You wouldn't even pick it up.
Guys, only hang around women who like to eat, okay? Next, what's called the picado. This was $10.99. This was made with carne asada. It's big chunks of carne asada, like big strips, thick. It's sauteed with bell peppers, onions. Then they add a tomato sauce to it with all kinds of seasoning. It comes with rice and beans, and you get a good choice of corn or flour tortillas. I really like this dish. It has some really complex flavors. I love their sauces. All the sauces they make here are really good. They're not the ordinary, boring canned sauces.
I agree.
These are all made from scratch. And a lot of meat. That's one thing about this place. They're not chintzy with any of the fillings, and there's a ton of meat on this thing.
Yeah, every dish so far has been enormous. There was such a huge pile of protein on there. I couldn't believe that they were giving that for $10.99. I mean, it was such a value. The only thing is the meat was a little tough, but it had great flavor. And I agree with you. The sauce was so flavorful.
You mentioned the pricing. Everything's here for like $2.39 to $10.49. So I mean, you really can't go wrong.
Yeah, you can afford to just
affordable.
order everything. Next, we had one of my favorite things to order at a Mexican restaurant is the street tacos. $6.99 came with 3 tacos. We chose to get El Pastor, carne asada, and chorizo, and they were all so good. I actually had to go back and do a second taste to see which one I liked the best. The meat, again, the flavors that they develop in the proteins here is so good. The sauces that they use. The beans and rice. I mean, even their beans and rice, I don't like beans and rice, and I think both of them were delicious.
Next one.
Next, we had enchilada plate, $8.25. We decided to do a cheese and a shredded beef. And an enchilada is an enchilada is an enchilada. However, this one was, I think, particularly good. Probably one of the best enchiladas I've had in many years that I can remember. Again, the cheese enchilada, it's just standard. I mean, but their sauces are so good. It was filled with a lot of cheese. They were very generous. The shredded beef, the same. It had a lot of shredded beef in it, and the flavor, again, in the beef was so beautiful. Paired so well with the sauce and again with the cheese. I wrote bomb diggity, so I guess I liked it. Bomb diggity.
That's princess talk.
Yeah, bomb diggity. It was very well executed.
What was nice about the sauce, it was a very rich, complex tasting enchilada sauce.
It really was.
Most ones you buy,
they're
especially
watery.
from the can, they're watery. This was real thick, reduced down, and just delicious.
It developed a nice, rich flavor.
A lot of flavors to it.
Absolutely.
So. Then we had, let's see, the carnitas plate. This was $10.49. This is a gigantic portion of, guess what? Perfectly seasoned pork. After they cook it, they stick it on a pan, a flat iron, and that's what gives it the crispiness.
Yes.
And it's served with flour tortillas, guacamole, pico de gallo, rice, and beans. This is one of the best dishes there is. If you like carnitas, this is the kind you want to judge. There's only one other restaurant that had better carnitas that I've ever eaten at, and this is just delicious.
I agree. I was absolutely thrilled when the plate came out and I saw the meat and I was like drooling on it, just styling the food. I was like, wow. It was tender and juicy, but then I love the little crispness that it gets when they put it on the flat. And the flavor, and it wasn't salty. Sometimes carnitas can be too salty.
It was perfectly seasoned.
It was perfect.
Now,
I agree.
With all these dishes, they have a great salsa bar, and one is called the BTC, Beaumont Taco Company, BCT. Yeah. Basically a pico de gallo with mango, and they use a little bit different seasoning. Then they have an avocado salsa. They have a mild salsa. They have a salsa verde, which is spicy. Then they have it's called Almost Diablo, which is almost hot. It's hot, but not as bad as the next one. But that's made with roasted chilies, as was a Diablo sauce, which is very, very spicy. But the sauces are all delicious, and what's nice about them is you can drink them. You can have them. They're so good. I drink my sauces. There's times when I'm filling up cups and keep filling it.
Doing shooters and
salsa bar. I love salsas.
I have to say that their salsas, there's only one place that has, to me, my favorite salsa that I won't say. everybody knows my favorite, but their salsas are exceptional. And I think particularly the avocado one, I mean, very rarely have I ever seen a restaurant serve that as a a house salsa. It's like almost like having guacamole. I mean, that's crazy.
Avocado
The
sauce,
cost. Yeah, everything was delicious. I also want to mention they have 7 specialty drinks that they offer, and they rotate them out, so you basically have to come every day to see which ones they're going to have. I think today was horchata, and there was
was it cantaloupe?
No, it was an orange mango something, and then there was one. It almost tasted like a cranberry spritzer. It was really good, and so he said they're all equally good. They have a coffee one, and so I just come all the time and taste them. They're delicious. Next, we had the Flautas plate, $9.79. We wanted to order this with al pastor, but we got it with the chicken, shredded chicken, and their shredded chicken is delicious. It's crispy flour tortillas rolled, deep fried. They're served with rice and beans, guacamole, salsa, sour cream. They're delicious. However, because we had it in our mind that we wanted the al pastor, we asked them to make another one in the al pastor, which I definitely liked better. I think the flavor, nothing wrong with chicken. It's just a little bland in the flautas. I thought some spicier meat would have been better.
El pastor, what's nice about it, it's fruit marinated. So it's got a little fruity, little pineapple in there, and that's what makes it
just
so
a
good.
rich flavor meat. So I liked it personally better, but it's delicious. If great for kids, easy to eat.
Also, you may be saying, like, are these guys slouching down? And these chairs are kind of like
we're
lounge
actually
chairs.
sinking in the chairs, I think.
We're like this, so it looks like I'm kind of, I feel like the Elephant Man. But
I feel like it's sinking as we're sitting here.
Di taco. Okay, and then lastly we had the BTC burrito.
Could be a song.
Wow, $8.99, big song, long
Yeah.
song. This consisted of a huge flour tortilla that was grilled first. Then you had beans, rice, carne asada, grilled chicken, grilled carnitas, guacamole, sour cream, the mango salsa. It was served wet with a really good red enchilada sauce and their chili verde sauce. And then what they do is put cheese on top of it, stick it in the broiler and let it melt. And what comes out is a monster. It's a 1.5 pound burrito. Now, in my next lifetime, if I came back as a burrito, this is the kind of burrito I'd be. This is a big burrito. Now, I know you didn't like it as much, but because if you pick at it, you're only going to get, it's not like it's mixed all together.
Right.
So the trick is eat the whole thing. I mean, you got to pick from different areas.
Yeah.
That's what makes it fun to me.
Yeah, and that's what I didn't like about it. I'm not a huge burrito fan, just because there's, like you take a bite and you get just beans. You go somewhere else, you get just something else. So I'm not a huge fan of it. The flavors are good. The sauces were good. I've tasted all the proteins in other dishes, so I know if you like burritos, you'll love it. And it's huge. I mean, it's like the size of a newborn child.
Yeah, I mean, you're not meant to, pick it up and eat it.
No.
I would definitely recommend heavier sauces on both of them. As for extra sauce, it's that good. So
yeah, very good.
Well, I'll tell you, we had some really good ones today.
We did.
What were some of your favorites?
I didn't even write anything down, but I know that I love the street tacos. I thought the flavors were great. You just can't go wrong with that. I'm going to say the carnitas plate because, again, it was the best carnitas I've had in a long time. And that enchilada plate, I can't wait to come back and get that. That was delicious.
Well, mine was picado. I love the sauce. I like the carnitas and the onions and tomatoes. The carnitas plate was by far the best.
Yeah.
And the burrito. I really like that burrito. And again, just put more sauce on it and it'd be absolutely perfect.
I know what I'm getting you for Christmas, Alan, is the
Big
burrito.
Oh, another wonderful culinary find. These are the kind of small restaurants that we love to go to, so we'll definitely be back here. But now we're off to Yucaipa to the Hickory Ranch Steakhouse, a restaurant that has a little bit of everything and lots of it, so come join us.
All right. Cheers to another good day. I love these old-fashioned. This reminds me of being a kid. I have grape. What do you have? Strawberry?
So good. Hickory Ranch Steakhouse in Yucaipa is a huge freestanding restaurant that is decked out in fun Western motif and is definitely a family-friendly eatery. The large full-service bar features many TVs, and their massive banquet room is great for special parties and occasions. Helen and Mark Haro are definitely hands-on owners, and the combination of quality food, friendly staff, and reasonable prices are just some of the many reasons why the Hickory Ranch Steakhouse is so popular amongst the locals. Well, we made it here to Yucaipa, and it's not that far from Beaumont actually.
True.
But I'll tell you, one thing that impressed me about Yucaipa is everywhere you look, there's a new restaurant popping up. And now this restaurant's been around for about 17 years. Prior to being the steakhouse here, it was, for a very brief time, I don't know if you knew, a Greek restaurant.
Right.
The father opened it up, and it only lasted like 9 months. I mean, it was way too early for its time. It should be done now.
Absolutely.
And then before that, it was called Bit O Country, and that was around like 10 years. So the restaurant's still been here forever. But this restaurant is gigantic. It's got so many different elements to it. It's real fun looking. It's a happening place. Such a happening place that we were banished here to the back room. So if you hear some banging and everything, it's not in our room, it's way back in the restaurant.
Yeah, it's actually a very cute restaurant with lots of little alcoves with cute decor, but we're in this kind of uninspired banquet room.
Echo, echo, echo.
But, we're here, and let's get into our food.
Oh, we're here for the food.
Yes.
First dish was the sauteed mushrooms. Great appetizer, $11. Now all the appetizers are on like a bar menu, so it's not on the main menu.
True.
So make sure you ask for the appetizers. This is button mushrooms sauteed with white wine, butter, garlic. I mean, can you get any better? It was served real piping hot, kind of like fajitas on a sizzling metal plate. And what a dish. It's served with delicious sourdough bread that they make here. Not the bread itself, they bake it here.
Yeah.
But it's crusty, and dip it into the butter and garlic. I loved it. I love the garlic, and just fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. This is great to share. It's great as an appetizer, but if you do get this, save some for your steak later, because you definitely want to spoon that butter and the sauce
so good.
and the mushrooms on your steak. Delicious. Next, we had the harvest salad. We decided to do chicken this time, so it's $2.99 extra. Very, very inexpensive to add some sort of protein to it. This is mixed greens. It has candied pecans, blue cheese, sliced fresh green apples, dried cranberries, red onions, and it's topped with about a 6 to 7 ounce broiled chicken breast cut up. And then it has a great balsamic vinaigrette that they make here. This salad is so harmonious. Every single component is perfect. I wouldn't change a thing.
What's nice is the candied walnuts, the sweetness, the cranberries, pecans, and the blue cheese. They don't give you just a little bit. They give you quite a bit.
It's very generous.
I would personally get rid of the protein. The other thing I really like, they make a salad dressing here. It's a ranch, a Chipotle ranch. I loved it with the Chipotle ranch. They kicked it up a little bit, but no matter what you eat, it's a great salad.
Yeah, the Chipotle ranch is a great flavor. It doesn't match the blue cheese, so I disagree. Blue cheese and Chipotle ranch.
We're gonna have a few more like this.
Now,
I guarantee.
But a great dressing. I mean, when we tasted that dressing, I was like, wow. And I have a little idea for that dressing later on.
Okay. Next was the Philly cheesesteak sandwich, $12.99. They actually should call it the Yucaipa cheesesteak sandwich. Nothing like a Philly cheesesteak, but very good.
Yeah.
This is 7 ounces of sliced tri-tip. It was sauteed with bell peppers, onions, sauteed in oil.
Yep.
And after they saute it, they put it on a flat grill. They put Swiss cheese on top of it. They let it melt a little bit. Then they stick it on a French baguette that's been grilled, a little butter on it, so it has a nice crispy interior, crunch to it.
Yeah.
A very nice sandwich. We got this with crisp steak fries, and I really like this sandwich. Last year I went to Philly, and it's not quite a Philly cheesesteak, but it was a very good sandwich.
Yeah, I agree. We did get this with some au jus that they recommended that we try it that way. It doesn't come that way, but you can ask for it.
What's nice about that, I mean, this kind of bread will hold up to it. So if you dip it in there, some breads it's not good because it's just
soggy.
mushes. This didn't get soggy. It got a little soft, but they had the crispiness to it.
Yeah.
But I thought the au jus was great. It wasn't real salty, but it had that nice flavor.
It did, and it did add some flavor to it. I was kind of against it. I hate soggy bread, so I was like, I didn't want to do it. And then I dipped, and I was like, oh, this is good. This is actually good. So he was right.
Come over to the dark side.
Come to the dark side. No soggy bread. Next, we had the California chicken sandwich, $11.99. This is a perfectly grilled 7 ounce piece of chicken, huge chicken breast. It comes with tomato, bacon, avocado, and then Swiss cheese, and it's on a ciabatta. It has a little grill to it, and it was good. I liked it. It was sort of the Trisha trifecta with the bacon, the avocado, and the cheese. However, it needed a sauce. It needed something. It was a little dry. Even mayonnaise, but I was thinking a pesto aioli, a roasted red pepper aioli, and you had mentioned the Chipotle Ranch.
Chipotle Ranch would be just perfect.
And I agree with you. It just needed an extra flavor in there just to kind of kick it up.
Even a horseradish, a little horseradish.
Yeah, but the Chipotle Ranch is smoky, so it would really
That's
work well
perfect.
with the bacon.
Right.
We did get that with some coleslaw. I don't recommend the coleslaw. They are going to be changing the recipe.
Coleslaw was great. It was
tasted
cold.
like mayonnaise.
It was good. It was good. Next, prime rib, $35.99. Now this is a giant cut. This is 20-ounce steak. Now you can get the end cut if they have it. Most of the time they have them. They go through about 170 pounds of prime rib a week.
Wow.
So you can get this every night. So a lot of times you can get the end cut. We didn't. So what you see on the screen was rare, but it wasn't blood rare. It was just medium. It was rare.
It was rare.
And it was a little tough to cut, a little chewy. We asked them to come back, and what they did was blacken it a little bit, cook a little bit more, which you didn't see. But that's the way I would serve it. I wouldn't have it raw here. This is the type of prime rib I would have it cooked a little bit, not too much, but just enough where you can cut into it. The other thing that's missing is it needed like a cream horseradish. It didn't have that. We didn't ask for it. They probably did. And it came with a baked yam and veggies, which is great.
Yeah, we came here a little while ago to do our taste test, and we had the uncut prime rib, and it was fabulous. It was tender and juicy, and it did come with the horseradish sauce.
Oh, did? Okay.
So I think maybe they were just busy tonight. I'm not
Very
sure.
busy.
But I absolutely loved the one we had when we did our taste test, and it comes with super salad and mixed veg. So very good. Next, we had a prime. This is a special. It's not every night, so hopefully you can come when they have the special. It's a bone-in ribeye steak, $37.99. This was great. It's an 18 ounces, that's huge, grilled bone-in ribeye. This was delicious. It was tender and flavorful. I loved it. I just was so excited about it. Then we decided to get the loaded baked potato with cheese and butter and bacon and chives and sour cream. Delicious. Comes with super salad as well and a vegetable. Loved it.
Good stuff. Next up, the baby back ribs, $27.99. This is about 1.75 pounds to 2 pounds. 12 meaty ribs. It's cooked in a salamander, basically steamed cooked a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it's basted on the grill. Absolutely delicious. They have a bold, really bold sweet potato barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
I love the ribs. Very messy. I mean, you just want to lick your fingers. It really, some sauces aren't sticky. This sticks to you. This is.
Well, they let the sauce caramelize in the broiler, so it does add that kind of really caramelized flavor to it. They were good, very messy, but if you're going to order ribs, you just have to know you need a bib and you need to be licking your fingers a lot. They were delicious.
Which we did.
And what did we get? We got beans and potato salad. Again, didn't love the sides on those. Get the loaded baked potato or the yam. That's all I have to say.
But with anything that's under seasoned, ask for salsa, ask for hot sauce, pepper. That's what condiments are for, to be honest. You're not always going to have something you really like.
Yeah, they were a little underwhelming.
Right.
And last but not least, after all that steak and all this heavy meals, we had an apple cobbler. Now, this was $3.99, and I think that's worth
Great
mentioning.
price.
Yeah, the price on it. Where can you go and get an apple cobbler for $3.99, right? So they make it in-house. It's a homemade cobbler. They do with apples. It has a crumb topping, cinnamon flavor. They bake it. They serve it warm with ice cream, caramel sauce, and whipped cream. Very simple. The flavors were good. I was looking for that crunchy topping. I'd like to see maybe they put some oats in the topping or some nuts maybe. It was lacking that crunch. I was looking for that textural
When they warmed
difference.
it up, sometimes they stick it in a microwave. Did they do that for this?
They did.
That's why it's not, crunchy.
Right, but that's what I wanted. I wanted some crunch to it, so I would like to have a little bit more of a topping.
Yeah, but the ice cream, pound and a half of ice cream was great. There's a lot of ice cream on there, big scoops. So.
Yeah, it was good.
Wow, where do we start? Let me start with mine. My favorite was the Ukaipa cheesesteak. I like the cheesesteak sandwich.
Yeah.
A lot of flavor to it, a lot of meat, and that's what the sandwich should be about. I also really like the bone-in ribeye. It was a great ribeye steak. And the baby back ribs. I'm a rib person. They're not smoked, but it had great flavor to it. I would definitely order it.
Yeah. I would say, of course, I liked the harvest salad. I did. I thought it really one of the most harmonious salads. Just the flavors were all there. Every bite had a good flavor. I liked the California chicken sandwich. It just needed a little something, and that Chipotle Ranch would have done it. And that bone-in ribeye. I love that steak. It was delicious.
Questions or suggestions for the Let's Dine Out show? Contact Alan or Tricia, or visit letsdineoutshow.com.
Well, we dined at two great restaurants, Beaumont and New Kaipan. Who knows, maybe we'll be coming to your city. Trust me, we're going to eat our way through not only your Inland Empire, but all through Southern California. So until next time, food critic Alan Borgen.
And I'm Trisha Jansen.
Happy eating, everybody.
Bye.
I'm stuffed, but they're bread.
It's been a long
they have
day.
great wines and full bar and good stuff. But I need some bread. You want a piece of bread?
No.
Oh, really? Oh, look at it. You're
Here.
crossed. Oh, really?
Let's dine out.
Just be careful. I can see that soda. Boom, 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 that red one. Is it going to fly off the table?
I'm here.
When you bump the table, look at it.
That's not going anywhere.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. At least it'll be bloopers. A little scary.
Of course, I picked the red one. I feel like this chair is breaking as I'm sitting here. I can feel it set.
Take a bite of that burger. Show me a big bite of that burger. You eat just like your mom. Yep, just like your mom. It's genetic. Perfect. Let's see those hands. Let's see those fingers.
Closed captioning for the Let's Dine Out show provided by Holiday Cafe, your neighborhood diner with 2 locations in Ontario and Mr. D's Diner in Laverne. Ready to satisfy your hunger and budget? Let's Dine Out is made possible by support from Food for Life Baking Company, makers of over 60 organic, all-natural sprouted baked goods, as well as gluten-free and vegan products. Food for Life Baking Company, dedicated to better health since 1964. Foodforlife.com. Sanborn's Air Conditioning and Heating, providing installation, maintenance, and repair of heating and air conditioning systems for home and businesses throughout the Inland Empire. Sanborn's Air Conditioning and Heating, 5-star comfort for 4 generations. Sanborn'sAC.com. And viewers like you, supporting local public television. Thank you.